Welcome to Seven Trumpets Prepper. Guys, I haven't made a YouTube video in a while because quite a few things has went on. I don't remember if it was that video I made the other day, the last one I posted up. I was coming home and, I said I had these feelings about things or whatever. But anyway, and I posted on Facebook that night too, in my personal Facebook to some friends. And as sure as the world, lo and behold, I swapped vehicle driving with Nikki, and we hit a deer, totaled out the whole vehicle and everything. And so we're not hurt. Actually, I'm sitting in a really nice rental right now, just chilling, waiting on her to come back. But long and short of it, I've just been preoccupied for days on some things going on. But I noticed the other day, the FBI pretty much said that those emails, the second batch they found, doesn't really matter now. That they're just going to let Hillary ride. And I was just going to tell y'all that I pretty much come to the conclusion the other night, and I'd been thinking about this for a while since that I'm moving and to our other land and just going off grid completely, that my agenda is in place now, regardless of Trump and Hillary, who goes into office, because I am concluding that the worst is going to take place, and that is that, the Supreme Court justices, that either one of them appoint are probably going to make some terrible calls on the Constitution, and our whole country is going to be redefined here in just the next couple of years. Furthermore, when Seven Trump's revelations start, they're probably, regardless which one it is, I know they're going to give their power over to the Roman pontiff, to the man of sin in Rome. So, my decision I made the other night, and that what I encourage you, especially if you're a believer in the Most High Yah, is from this day forward, focus on keeping the faith in Messiah, worshiping the Most High Yah, and keeping His commands. Don't worry about man's laws. I'm telling you, from now on, okay, what I'm about to say, you can take this however you want. I don't care. I say this to anybody, to people in power, to law enforcement authorities. I say it to everyone. From now on, I encourage people that as long as you're not breaking the commandments, as long as you're not hurting anyone, do whatever you want. I'm telling you, I'm not saying do lawlessness. I'm just saying, look, somebody be like, well, you should get a bill permit to be able to have your little tiny house. You know what? I'm going to build my little tiny house whatever I want, well, such and such is collecting rainwater. You know what? We should just go call the law on him. You know what, folks? Do whatever you need to survive. I'm telling you, from this day forward, do whatever is required of you to survive. All right? Because it has really occurred to me that the people in political office, the people in power, I know that they're corrupt. I mean, there's not a doubt in my mind they're corrupt. But I never really absorbed the extent of how corrupt they are. And so, like I said, I'm the first to always tell people to do what's right and what's righteous. But this country has gotten so lawless that, you have to have a permit to fish. You have to have a permit to collect your own rainwater. You have to have a license to build a structure on your own land that you're being taxed for. There's some things that I'm telling you, if you want to survive what is coming very soon, you're going to have to make a moral, mental judgment call that says, do I do what man says, or do I worry about the commandments of men, or do I worry about the commandments of Most High Yah? And I'm telling you, Luke, from this day on, I'm worried about the commandments of Most High Yah. I don't care what man says to do anymore. I'm tired. I'm so sick and tired of being regulated and told what I can and can't do. I'm done with it. And so, that's why one of the reasons why I've always tried to make sure and abide by the law, because I know there would be a day come that I'm going to have to be like, nope, I'm not going to follow the law no more. I'm not going to go knock off 7-Eleven. I'm not going to go kill somebody. But, when you tell me I can't build my structure, I'm going to build it. I'm going to put it up there anyway. You tell me I can't do this or can't do that. I can't collect my own rainwater, or I can't do, grow my own food. There's just going to come a time when, as soon as they say, yeah, don't do this, I'm going to turn right around. As soon as I see them walk off another way, I'm going to do it. And you're gonna have to start. Y'all are gonna have to do this as well. I mean, there's gonna come time probably. Those of us of faith, they're gonna say you can't worship this way. You're gonna have to do it anyway. You're gonna have to take a stand, but just like the folks are fighting the Dakota pipeline. All right, you look what the United States has done to the Native American people, which, by the way, I believe a lot of these Native American people are descendants of Abraham, some of the lost tribes, because it talks about in the book of Yashar how they took a ship and went into a land uninhabited far away. I think it took a year journey to get there. If you take a ship back in the day, that would have been about a year to get across to America. That whole transit there and back, I think, is how Solomon's men went and carried stuff. But anyway, that's irrelevant. What I'm getting at is, if you look at the persecution of these native people and what America's done to them, just because you're white doesn't mean that ain't going to happen to you. I mean, the country already does it to the black folk, mistreats them and the so-called black man, and that's because he's true Hebrew Israelites. So Satan's going to use America to persecute them. And like I said, Native Americans, a lot of history about that they are true Hebrew descendants too. Just from a long time ago, they come over here. And so that means people like my father-in-law and my wife, people, they've mistreated them for generations. So just because you're white, Latino, Chinese, the rest of us, hey man, I'm telling you, our country, it's ran by Lucifer Incorporated. And so, all of us are going to catch grief here in the near future. Nobody's immune to that. And so with that said, the main thing is that here very soon, you might be laughing at me right now and be like, hey, Luke, it ain't going to go down like that. You ain't going to have to worry about being persecuted or anything like that. If you read scripture close enough, you're going to see that this transformation is about to take place, not only in our country but worldwide. I already see things heating up, especially Russia. Like, you can't evangelize anymore. You have to go to said organized religious institution to go. So I mean, the squeeze is starting to come down. So the best thing you can do is those that you know and trust, get together with them, make a plan, get prepared, and get ready, because the time's gonna come when you're gonna need to drop off the map. And I cannot overly state how grateful I am, Most High Y'all, that I have an exit strategy now. Because I'm telling you, for years I feel like I didn't have an exit strategy, and finally, if things go the way I'm liking, it's gonna be okay. But it just, ladies and gentlemen, I'm gonna tell you, the time for non-compliance is coming very soon. And I talked to this lady from the Politico the other day. I'll tell you all this, and then I'll wrap this up, because I'll make a YouTube video and have a link in the video description for that article from Politico when it comes out. But I spoke with her, and I sure hope it makes the article, because one of the last things I told her about as far as living off grid, because it was like an article about what preppers and off-gridders thought about the election. And I straight up told her pretty much nobody cares, that there's so many other things that are coming down the pipe. This is just one little facet in the cog. But I told her that if I wasn't executed publicly in the near future, or hauled off some FEMA camp, I'd be shocked. Because people like me are not going to have no place in Hillary Clinton's future country. Donald Trump, I don't know what, the man, he's a wild card in my book, so that could go down that way too. And so, ladies and gentlemen, I think a radical transformation is coming in this country. And what you need to do is just keep the Father's commands. And when the time comes that it starts cutting in these laws and these, as Miss Clinton constantly says, regulations and stuff, as he starts cutting into your life, is you don't pay no mind to it. Is you do whatever you need to protect the interests of your family first and foremost. Because I'm going to tell you, there's going to come a time very soon. I think a lot of law enforcement, a lot of military, they're not going to comply to the means of this wicked government anymore either. There's going to be a huge dissension. There may even be a second American Revolution, but if there is, it's going to be very short, very swift, and put down very quickly. So you just need to take care of your family and your nearby loved ones, friends. That needs to be the priority right now. Because after this election, you're going to see a lot more squeeze on off-grid living like you ain't never seen before. And guys, I hope this helped to you. I'm trying not to stress out about it, because Messiah is just I hear that. I know that trumpet blast is not too far off, and the great day of y'all starting's not too far off, and there's gonna be a lot of calamity come. So I mean, I've already mentally checked out, and I'm already there in my mind. I see people talk about that show, The Walking Dead, or whatever. Just one last note on this. People talk about that show, The Walking Dead, and all the terrible things. It's constantly reoccurring theme. Every time the show comes on, somebody dies, somebody gets eaten, somebody gets killed, something happens. Dude, Seven Trump's Revelation, when that starts, I mean, it's going to be probably the same scenario every day. You turn around, somebody dropping dead, something happening. Because I'm telling you, ladies and gentlemen, it's going to be the greatest wake-up call that's ever happened in the history of humanity, and I promise you it's going to be a lot more profound than the show The Walking Dead or anything like that. I mean, people are not prepared for what is to come. I mean, I can do all preparation in the world, but I guarantee you it's going to be a molding process for me as well when the time comes. I just don't think the shock factor is going to be that great, because I'm like, well, there, I told you, there it is, and well, there it is happening. So, guys, keep up the good fight until we see you again here at It's Prepper. I hope you have a most blessed day in Yahushua's name.